welcome to the Swift Half, your weekly session of chat from the UKOCR and adventure running scene. Each week, pub landlord Alan and our favourite regular Ian discuss races, runners and anything else that comes to mind. So pull up a pew, pour yourself a drink and join us for the Swift Half.
You're listening to the 27th most popular podcast for those who automatically look for grizzlies when their sat-nav says bear left.
This show is sponsored by the Farmyard Jam, the ultimate test of endurance. 24 hours of running and challenges that even the best fail at. Can you last the distance? Only one person did last year. Click the link in description to sign up and use code UKOCR for a 10% discount.
Here, my friend, it's that time of the week. Welcome into the Swift Half. How are you?
I'm good, Alan, and thank you for always reserving me a seat.
Always, mate. I'm going to go back to abnormal speaking now because I raised my voice there because, as you know, Ian, I was just said to you earlier on before we came and started recording, I am made up with flu. My head's pounding, my throat's hurting. So if I go quiet, Ian, you know why.
I know that you have passed on and I need a new host.
Can I tell you something? So I've moved house. As you know, I moved house and Paula's mum was coming round the other day, giving her a lift.
Yeah.
Giving her a lift. And I'm coming up, I don't know, I could come up past Barnsley Crematorium. And I said, oh yeah, to get to our house, you turn left opposite the crematorium. And we're just up the road 100 metres. And do you know what she said to me?
I dread to think.
Not far to go when you pass it then, is it?
And that was Paula's mum.
Paula's mum trying to bump me off already.
I'm sure a man of your weight instantly said, we were thinking of you when we purchased it.
I would never, ever say that to Paula's mum, mate. That's like instant get rid of you, isn't it? That's how I've been married more than once, mate, saying stuff like that.
On the plus side, this will be the last one because you'd go in it.
Oh, yeah, it is that. And then when I told Paula, she says, well, it isn't, is it? You know, if you do, I could just, if you die in your sleep, I could, and if you're stiff, I could just like put you in a wheelbarrow and take you over. I'd save a fortune. So they're both wanting to get rid of me.
It's probably not even any space either.
It probably is. It probably is. No, it was good fun. The house is all ready, mate. The house is all ready for you to come down and visit whenever you want now.
Send us the address, and yeah, whenever we can, we'll come and visit. Can I tell you a graveyard story? Let's get spooky.
Let's go with graveyard stories today.
Spooky on the 9th of February, listeners, which we're only 5 months past Halloween. What could go wrong? Near me, one of my walking/running routes, the one where you were going to come that time, but sadly we had snow, which happened. Yeah, I think you were visiting in June and we got snow or something like that. But there's a pub, and kind of opposite it is a graveyard, diagonally opposite. It's a few doors down.
Right.
But do you want to know the creepiest thing about it?
Go on, what's the creepiest thing about it?
There's no church.
Oh, the last village I lived in Hemmingfield, there was a graveyard but no church.
Yeah, no church, no. And in Bolton, we have a few places like this which tend to be crems or tend to just be graveyards, but they're clearly marked as graveyards. This is just a load of gravestones behind a 3-foot wall. It's spooky.
Wow. It's not one of them Commonwealth graveyards, is there? Because I know there's a lot of Commonwealth graveyards dotted around the country that don't have churches. They're on pieces of land.
Perhaps, although it does look quite old, a lot of the gravestones. So I'm presuming they've either been there a while or the weather around here is a lot worse than I think it is.
Talking of weather, have you got the forecast of snow this week?
We have, as we're recording this, I am training 4 husky dogs to get me to work.
Yeah, we've got forecasts, but I don't think it's going to hit us because it's only a yellow forecast, and we don't usually get when we get yellow forecasts. It's not until we get the red ones that we get it where we are, even though we're right on the edge of the Pennines.
Yeah, you should always be careful about yellow snow.
I've heard a road never eat yellow snow was said to me years ago, and I never touched yellow snow.
No, never touch yellow snow. So I don't know what it will be like because we can't predict the future, but when it gets bad up here, it gets real bad. So I'm hoping it doesn't get real bad. We're talking closing the motorway type bad. I think it was probably about 5, maybe 6 years ago that the 62 near me closed and people were just stranded, up on the tops that you near that bridge which you refused to walk over.
Yes, yeah, near the bridge that I refuse to walk on. It does get bad up there. Is it up on the moor, isn't it? I don't want what's the moor? Made famous by the murders.
It's Saddleworth
Saddleworth.
Moor.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the highest point I think in England when it comes to motorway. I know our Scottish listeners are probably thinking, "Aye, but it's a lot shallower." Oh God, I was concentrating too much on a terrible Scottish accent that I forgot my words. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of our Scottish listeners probably think it's a mere hillock compared to some of their motorways.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to Shyla Dehaney earlier on, and she's going to go to Tartan Warrior, and we was talking about cold water, and she's a little bit worried that the water up there in March on the 8K is going to be very, very cold. So yeah,
Well, you know what she needs?
a wetsuit.
No, she needs an ice bath from our sponsors, Immersive Recovery. And if you use code UKHXR15, I believe,
Yeah,
you get money off. And you can get an ice bath, you can get a lovely hooded gown type thing. Jen's got one for dry robes. When people bought them thinking they were dry robes, and
yes,
they were only like 20 very quick. Jen's got one, not she knew what it was before she bought it. And those things are amazing. If you don't already have one, they are game changers because you can just throw it on and just get on with your day as you dry up.
yeah,
And you don't have to worry about your towel falling off.
like it. It was that we rehearsed that, and we actually didn't. That was like the really strange thing we actually didn't do. And let's go into let's drinking. We're in the podcast and we don't even know what you're drinking. We haven't even served you yet. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking courtesy of the sponsor that we've agreed to, but they still haven't agreed. I'm on Prime. I think this is a new one. It's called Cherry Freeze. Imagine cherry lipstick
Yeah.
mixed with antifreeze.
I've never tasted antifreeze, so I wouldn't know what that. The cherry lipstick, I actually quite like cherry lipstick, but I've never tasted antifreeze.
Yeah, it's my second time trying it. The first time I gave most of the bottle to Jen. I decided to try it again. Yeah, I'm still not convinced out. The rest of this bottle might go to Jen too.
Do
She
you know,
loves it, by the way.
what about the thing? If you try it once and you don't like it, what's the point in trying it again?
I always believe in second chances.
Oh, valid point. Valid point. I like second chances. But yeah, I know if I don't like it, I don't like it. I make my mind up quite quickly on things like that.
So, given I might not be drinking that much, what are you drinking? You're going to have to do it for both of us.
Yeah, so I'm on the non-alcohol again. I'm on Piston Head, which is my favourite. I've got quite a lot of these now. Custom lager. It's non-alcoholic. 0.0. So it's not like the 0. Not the low alcohol stuff. This is completely zero alcoholic. I think I'm turning a corner, Ian. I think I'm turning a corner and going back down the non-alcoholic route. And after we did High Rocks,
Yes.
and I said to you last week that the blue t-shirts didn't flatter me one little bit. I've decided that I'm going to go back to doing something I haven't done in a while, which is do between 50 and 100 sit-ups every morning and every evening. And I'm going to do it for 30 days and see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to put the blue shirt on in 30 days and see if it makes a difference.
Can we do a before and after shot? If it makes a difference. If it doesn't, it's probably not worth it. But if it does, can we do a before and after?
Well, we've got the before because we've got it from High Rock. So yeah, I'll do an after shot and just an after photo and just see if it does make a difference. I ain't got a lot of fat on me. I know I've only got 17% fat on me. That might be a lot to some people. I'm not sure if it's a lot. It's green on my scales apparently, so it's within the tolerance levels. But I guess I've because I haven't been to the gym for a while and I've just been concentrating on running. my upper body seems to have put a couple of little love handles on it, and that's how I want to get rid of them. And I'm going to see if it makes a difference. I noticed it more after the blue shirts.
And believe it or not, Alan, I have done the same. I've told the intern today that we have quite a bit of bad snacks which have been left over from Christmas. Once they run out, we're not buying any more. I'm going to try my hardest to eat less and try to drink less calories as well, because what you drink can really, really make an impact.
So, do you drink tea? Or you don't drink coffee? Do you do tea?
No, I tend to drink water, but what I've been quite bad is at work, they've been buying cans of pop,
Okay.
and even the diet stuff is not great for you. So I've been having one of them every lunchtime. So I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to go back to just drinking water. I'll probably go to Tesco, because why wouldn't I? And they've got some nice fizzy water. Because my problem, Alan, I can't drink plain water. It just doesn't taste right.
No. So, do you like the peach and the lime waters and things like that?
Yeah, the one that used to be at Tesco for you could buy it four for £1. I think now you can buy a fourth of a bottle for £1, or at least it feels like it given current inflation. But yeah, the 1 litre bottles. I
Yeah.
used to just have them on my desk, and when you get tired of water, you just have, I don't know, half a pint, and it just takes the edge off. But Alan, I also today, I'm not sure how long this will last, but I took a page out of your book.
Which page? Which page have you taken out of my book?
I fasted from having my dinner last night my tea last night, for those of you who are northern, like I am,
Yeah.
to my dinner today, just having water.
Oh, that's pretty cool, that. So, what, 6 o'clock last night to 12 o'clock today?
I have it late, so probably 8 till 12, but it's still a 12-hour fast-ish, give or take.
Yeah, well, a bit more than that. It's 16, isn't it? 12 till 12, then you got 4 hours before. So, yeah, 15, 16 hours. So, you'll have been that, is it keto phase? Matt Roberts, tell me. I know you'll know exactly what it's, because you've told me about it all. That's the one where your body's it's burning the fat and producing the micro things in your body to make you cleverer, Ian.
What I will say is it made me hungry phase. I'm not sure it was keto phase, but I was ravenous come. But I expected that. I've done it before where I've cut back on food, and your body, a little bit like, and we're going a bit of sciencey here, but a little bit like, Alan, when you're lifting weights, eventually your body gets used to that, and you can lift heavier and heavier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
When you eat, if you eat too much, your body gets used to that much food. And consequently, when you cut back, it's wondering, why aren't you feeding me?
I've actually found this because I'm doing Hello Fresh at this moment in time. If anyone wants Hello Fresh, hit me up here. I've got a code. And if you order, I actually get a discount on my next order. But anyway, I'm using Hello Fresh, and I have been now for about 6 weeks. And I am finding, so when I first got it, I was finding that the meals I didn't feel they were substantial enough. I was wanting something more, and I'm really fighting that urge to go and have something more. I did fight it, but I'm finding now. So tonight we had a pasta dish. We had a barbecue chicken pasta dish, and we didn't even eat it all between both of us. Because I feel that as our stomachs have shrank a little bit, so we're not having to eat as much to fill our stomach up. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm at the stage you were a few months ago of, yeah, my body's craving. I might chew more gum. I know it's not particularly great for you, but at least it gives you that feeling of something to do with your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. If any of our listeners are fasting or doing anything to try and lose weight or get fit, let us know. When we put this out on Facebook, go on the Facebook page and just let us know. Or message us directly if you want to. But I'd be interested to see what other people are trying.
We could maybe make this into a regular Monday episode sometime. If we get enough people interested, maybe in a few months, Alan, me and you can just chat. It won't be like a Matt Roberts or a science thing. It would just be personal experience with a massive disclaimer up saying this is what worked for us, see a medical professional, etc. and invite people who have got in touch to come on that show and just talk about their journeys.
I like that. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. So, talking about journeys, yeah, Tough Mud at Alula's coming up soon. You know, people making a journey over there.
It is a very, very long journey. And I noticed this week that Chris Ruglovsky, she's
Yeah.
over here for Vienna. I think she's literally making a journey from America to Vienna and then to Alula, which I think is genius.
You know, I think it is as well. You're going to be, I don't know what the time differences are between them all, but is she trying to acclimatise? Is trying to give her the best chance of winning a race? Great idea. If it was me, with the amount of money that's on offer, and if I was one of the top racers, I'd be over there well within 2 weeks of the race.
So, do we have any idea who's going for that money yet, Alan?
We actually do, yeah. So we know in the men's, Ryan Atkins is going. So it's all in. So Obstacle Racing Media have published the full list of everyone who's going. From America, some of the names some of the names I know: DJ Fox, Katie Knight, Crystal Rugloski, Ryan Shadegg. From Canada, we've got Ryan Atkins. I've got Lindsay Webster. Those from Norway. Yeah, from Norway, we've got Jonathan Alban, which is absolutely brilliant.
That Norwegian guy, oh God, you know what? I'm sure he's a rookie. I've never heard him do anything, but we don't hear a lot about Norwegian racers, do we?
We don't know. From the UK, we've got Thomas Hunt, Duncan Francis, Megan Tranter, Jamie McNeil, Dasa Scanella, and the one and only Eli's dark horse. This guy, I think, is going to actually challenge Will Chung.
Absolutely. I presume we're going to go through the teams in a bit. I presume some of these people on these teams is because they don't want to battle with Will Chung.
Exactly. I think that's it. That's why they moved to teams. I am going to go down to teams. There's a lot of athletes from a lot of countries and a lot of athletes that I don't know. But before something else, there's no Russian athletes on there, Ian. However, there's another category called Other.
There is. This is parts unknown. So, do you want to read some of them names?
Yep, it's Elisa Petrova, Boris Shlavev, Evangeline Mikhailova, Anna Ivanova, and Alina Koferman. So,
absolutely no clue where they've come from. No idea. No idea.
Not a single clue.
So, what are all the athletes striving for in terms of the cash prizes? Should we remind the listener?
So on the solos, on the individual basis, pro men and pro women, it's exactly the same, which I think is great. The prize money is absolutely the same throughout, which is absolutely brilliant. So $80,000 for the pros for first place, 32,000 second, 16 third, 7.5 fourth, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2.5, 2, down to 10th place is $1,500, which is pretty cool. That's absolutely amazing. Now, this is where I think it gets interesting here. So, in the teams of two, there's teams of two, okay? And there's one team that stands massively out from all the others for me. Tyler Veerman has gone on the teams of two with Chris Brown. Okay, some other good athletes on there, but for me, I think, and we know Tyler's a good athlete. You know, he was leading world's toughest for quite a while. Has he gone down to the team of two because first place is paying $20,000 for a team?
Maybe because it's not a sure thing because you don't know people could still register.
Yeah,
but if you're playing the odds. A share of 20k, so 10k a piece, which I think on that prize puts you above fourth place, but below third place.
That's right, yeah, because 7,500 for fourth and 16,000 for third.
It's a nice innings, isn't it?
It's a very nice innings. And when you look at, you've got at the top, you've got John Alban going, you know, it's got to be one of the favourites, and you've got Ryan Atkins. I think that's two of the top three places. You know, so you're fighting for one of others. So everyone who's going on that solo, for me, sorry, Will, but I think you're fighting for a third place. Um,
Can I just clarify? Do you have some inside information about this Norwegian that I don't know?
I've heard it's pretty good. Yeah, it's something about 7 times world champion, done Mont Blanc race a few times and won a few times. I think he's got a little bit of caliber. Done some sky running somewhere, and yeah, I've heard he's not a bad runner.
You'd think that Norway would be screaming from the rooftops about their product, John Alban. Yeah, you just imagine that all over NOCR, whatever it's called, over there, that'd be all we're talking about. But you hardly hear anything about him out of Norway.
No, he actually won avalanche run once as well. I do believe he won
Oh
avalanche
wow!
run. So that's his caliber we're talking about.
But has he ever won a wolf run?
I'm not sure on that. And I wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I don't think he has. No, I think he hasn't won a wolf run, so it's not that good.
No, it's not that good. But you are right with some of the caliber of athletes in that solo. Yeah, you're basically maybe fighting for third place, and you're fighting against some good competitive people. Whereas at the moment, there are how many two-person teams?
Oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13.
Yeah.
And any other names stick out to you?
No, I'm going to be straight up. No, there's no other names on there that jump out to me and say, "Yeah, I'm as good as Tyler Verman." There's none on there that would jump out to me. Theobald Jean of France. I don't know Gregory Basillo, so Theobald's good. I don't know how good the partner is, but no, there's none on there that really jump out at me.
So it does seem like a potential way. They're not guaranteeing themselves money because, on the other hand, I don't think you get anything for second place, do you?
In the two-man team, there's
Yeah.
8,000 and third place is 4,000. So top three get. So
Okay, so that's not terrible. So second place still gets you more than an age group podium.
definitely, definitely. But the big thing for me, and where it really stands out, is that we've got one of the best runners in the world that's going in a team of four.
We've already said that Will is doing solo. Who are you talking about?
VJ Jones.
Oh,
So I mean, in obstacle racing media the other day, he called out some athletes to a Spartan race. Come and race at Spartan. We race against me at Spartan. He's got a chance here to race against the best in the world, and he's going for a team of four.
true. Although, as much as he protests it, VJ is a short course specialist.
He is. He is. And he's going with another short course specialist in Leon Colford on the same team.
That is a good team.
It is. But I think this is not a guaranteed win. And I'll tell you the reason why is you have got a couple of the best runners in the UK, in the world, in the Europe. Can't get my words out there, Ian. Not the world, not the UK, but in Europe, in Sergio Perelgin. And we know him because he came over here and won the Spartan several times, and Jesse De Gea. Both were in different teams, but I would have thought they're going to put a good team together, those athletes. So I don't think he's going to get it all his own way. If I'm honest, I think it's a gamble.
No, yeah, it is. And you've also got this issue with the way it's working out. I think it's an 8-hour event.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time to be switching because I presume the four-person team, you can still do the 2 on course, 2 back at the pit, but you can't do a lot of miles in 8 hours.
No, it's going to be close, and I mean, I don't know who VJ's other teammates are. I have heard of the names, but I don't know how good they are. Nikolai Dam and Manuel Defoe. I have heard the names. I don't know how good they are. If I'm honest, I'm not up on outside the UK. I know people who've run in the UK and that, but I think it's interesting, Ian. I really do. I'd have liked to have seen him go up against the best. He's done the Beast. He won Spartan Beast in Abu Dhabi, was it?
I believe so. It is a shame that they seem to be a bit fragmented, but it should make for a heck of a program. And I believe that there will be streaming of some sort. We have no inside knowledge on that, but I believe there will be streaming of some sort. And as soon as we know more, we'll let people know.
How good would it be if Will is streaming from the middle of the race?
It would be amazing, but that would get in the way of him taking first place.
Oh, he's easily capable of doing it one-handed.
Yeah, that's true. Who was it who used to do that at Spartan races? Was it Thomas Blanc?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was one of the rabbits, wasn't he? And he would run right in the front end, keep up with everybody, and an amazing athlete. An amazing athlete he was.
We have seen and lost a fair amount of great athletes. I don't mean lost like he's still with us, listeners. Yeah, he's still around. I think he still works for Spartan.
Yep.
But it's such a shame when you see some of the names back in the day who just aren't with us.
I remember Sam Cherry was in the Royal Marines. I might have mentioned his name before. I think he was. There was a big race down at Nuts where John Alban took the win. Sam come second. Conor Hancock come third. And we don't see nothing of Conor now.
No, he got a job, didn't he? Basically.
Yeah. Andrew Appleton. Was
Oh
it
God.
Andrew? What
No.
was his name?
Oh, was it John Appleton?
Oh, that's got me now.
It has, but
People are
he's
going to be
now
shouting at us in our ears here, and we don't.
Yeah, we'll do Apology Corner next week. Let us know which Appleton it was. He's now living in Cumbria, taking lots of pretty pictures.
He was always doing pretty pictures. He did travel the world taking pictures of volcanoes at one point. What a job that is.
I am incredibly envious of those kind of jobs. Do we have anything else to talk about, Alula?
I haven't. I just it's going to be a great race. I can't wait to see it, the live stream, and I'm going to be glued to it to see who's winning and that.
Should we stay with Tough Mudder then?
Let's stay with Tough Mudder. And actually, it's the second thing on our list. This Unholy Grail.
Yeah. Should I explain this?
Give us some hindsight. I can't get my words out today with my flu.
In insight, hindsight's when we're looking backwards. I guess I am looking backwards, but I'm not looking backwards to look forwards, if that makes sense. Although I believe that TM used hindsight, as we'll find out. Anyway, someone asked on the Spartan Discord. Yes, listener, I'm surprised it's still a thing as well. But anyway, someone asked on the Spartan Discord, Unholy Grail, what's the deal? I'm paraphrasing, but it was that. I will give a shout out to Gaz Oakley on Discord for asking this. And then we got a comment from Aja saying, unfortunately, there is no Unholy Grail for 2024. From our product team, Tough Mudder would like mudders to push themselves. Unfortunately, with the Unholy Grail, we have noticed some participants only doing the bare minimum to be able to get the Unholy Grail. This is not something we want participants to do, since we are all about pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone and going beyond our limits. Having said that, we will definitely reevaluate again for 2025. Wow.
Wow, indeed. That one sentence for me jumped out, Ian, when he turned around and said, we've noticed some participants only doing the bare minimum. If it's a marathon, that means you run 26.2 miles, not 30, 26.2. On Holy Grail, they gave you the distance. That's all you had to do. And to some people, that bare minimum was not achievable.
Well, yeah, exactly. And do you remember Jim Rattler? Was it Rattler or Ratner?
Ratner.
The famous guy who had the stores which sold jewelry, sold watches and that.
Right.
And silverware. I think it was in the 90s. He went on a business forum and said, people wonder how we can sell these things at £15. And it's simple. It's all crud.
What a top man.
Yeah. Oddly, his customers didn't appreciate that. By the way, he didn't use the word crud. We don't swear, so yeah. I'm using poetic license. Yeah. Oddly, his customers didn't like that, and yeah, that company didn't last long. It did become a cautionary tale about not insulting your customer.
Yes. And it is a bit of an insult. They have backtracked, so we will give them a little bit of due that someone's popped on and from Spartan and said they make no mistake, anyone that has earned the Enola Grail has worked their backside off for this. there is simply no other way to get through that many miles for that many hours in a single weekend. There's no bare minimum involved. So they have backtracked a bit like Joe did over the ethnic thing not long since. So Spartan are once again backtracking. But there's going to be
no official Unholy Grail. We should clarify. Last year, I believe for the Unholy Grail, you needed to do 75k within the 24-hour period, which to some people super achievable. For other people who may not have even done marathon distance ever, super unachievable.
Yeah. Big ask, massive ask. I'd be
was.
interested to know actually how many people did it last year, because I saw that first wave go off, on the Sunday morning, and it only looked like there was about 10 people with bibs on that looked like they were doing the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and I do have a couple of theories. Firstly, I don't completely disagree with the point Tough Mudder was trying to say, but they went about it and said the complete wrong thing. What I think they were trying to say is the Unholy Grail takes a little bit away from Europe's Toughest Mudder, because rather than that being the achievement of how many laps you can do through the night, it became a case of let's get to the minimum that we need to do and then go to bed.
40k.
Yeah, 40k, which in 12 hours, it depends how quick you are. Some people could potentially, if they're very lucky with a sprint lap and very fast, they possibly could have got up to 12, 13, 14, 15k before touching an obstacle.
Yeah. And I'm going to hold my hands up. So not last year, but the year before, I did an Holy Grail, and I did the bare minimum. I went out and did Saturday, the Tough Mudder, the big 15 miler. Then I did 40k at ETM, and then I went out on Sunday morning for, was it 10 mile on Sunday morning? I think it was. I can't remember what it was. But I did the bare minimum. The bare minimum is a challenge, Ian.
It absolutely is a challenge. And again, I think they should not have said bare minimum.
No.
The point they were clumsily trying to make was this whole idea that ETM in and of itself should be special.
Yes.
And having the Unholy Grail almost took away from that specialness of ETM, which I can understand, Alan. Can you imagine someone doing the spine race?
Yeah.
But the spine race is then combined with doing, I don't know, a 50k before you do it, then 100k after you do it. But all you've got to do is complete the spine. So most people just walk it. How much would that take away from the competitive nature of a spine race?
It would take away the competitive nature. You're quite right. But not everyone does ETM for competitive nature. I do it because I want to see how far I can push myself, but not because I'm going to podium or I'm going to win age group or anything like that. I'm doing it to just see where I can push myself. If I was doing Holy Grail, I don't know. I'm at a different point in my life now, so I've done the Holy Grail once. I think I would push myself a little bit, but it's going to take it out of you by doing the 15 miles in the morning.
It absolutely will. And we should clarify that the Unholy Grail wasn't a Tough Mudder invention. It was a community invention. The first time Europe's Toughest Mudder happened to be on an event weekend as opposed to an event in and of itself, and had a Sunday event. Some members of the community did it. I want to say a small handful, and it was special to them. Tough Mudder commercialized it, and the unintended consequence of it was it took away from ETM. So if you want to do the Unholy Grail, you can do the Unholy Grail. It is still there. It's still an achievement. Will you get any recognition from Tough Mudder? No, but do you need it?
No, you don't. You only need your recognition from yourself, Ian. It's all about, if you've done it for yourself. And the community will recognise you as well. I think something's going to happen. I think the community is going to band together under their own again and take it back off Tough Mudder.
And I'd be all for that, because, again, I don't think that in and of itself will take away from Europe's Toughest Mudder, because suddenly it would just be people who really, really want the achievement of Unholy Grail, as opposed to wanting a little bit extra merch.
Yeah, yeah. Take it underground. Take it
Take it.
underground. So it's only you've got to know someone who's in charge, not in charge of it, or someone who's involved with it. And you pay something like £10, and if you do it, you get a secret medal that, only you know about.
That could be cool. So the Unholier Grail.
The unholier grail. Oh, I like it, Ian. Marketing genius, the unholier grail.
Unholier Grail. You heard it here first. So again, listeners, we should clarify. I'm clarifying a lot. We think Tough Mudder are idiots for saying people were only doing the bare minimum. Absolute idiots. And that shouldn't have seen the light of day. For that person to say this is directly from our events team, yeah, that was stupid. I don't know whether that was a direct quote, but yeah, that's the danger of allowing people on social media sometime. But am I sad that the Unholy Grail is no longer an official Tough Mudder thing? No, because I hope that it may encourage people to really concentrate on Europe's toughest mudder, because when you do it right, it is an amazing feeling. I remember the first one, Alan. I've only done two, and yet I still remember them both. I remember the first one, that sense of achievement, getting there. It was only an 8-hour race, but getting towards the event village, 8:15, and it was cut off at 8:30. Had two obstacles to go, and I think the intern was there. And I hugged her because I knew that I was going to hit my goal of 20 miles, which wasn't a big goal, but 8 hours, because I knew I had 15 minutes to finish. I want more people to get that feeling as opposed to, oh, I've done 40K, let's go to bed.
Exactly. And we talk about me. I've done it twice now. I got a tattoo because I want to do it every year, so I can get to do it free because I've got the tattoo. And it's only so I can do ETM. You know what I mean? It purely is because I rate that race so highly. If you are into obstacle course racing and you want to run a good distance, ETM is the race. I can't shout about it enough because it's got everything to me: the nighttime, the rain, the cold, and this year we're going to get Ills because it's in Yorkshire. I'm excited. Or is it in Yorkshire or Lancashire? But it's one of them.
I think it's in Skipton. It depends on the day of the week. It's very, very close, but it's weird. That pocket of Yorkshire is almost surrounded by enemies on all sides because you've got Lancashire just below it, and I'm sure Cumbria is just above it. It's like a little bit of an elbow, isn't it?
Yeah, right on the corner. Depending on which part of the course you're on, you could be in a different county.
Well, while we're talking about that area, I want to give a massive shout out to a hotel. This isn't any sponsor or anything, but if you're looking and you don't mind spending a little bit more on treating yourself, the Coniston Hotel, which is about 2 to 3 miles away, it's a spa, Alan. So if you're looking for a hotel and you want to go there after ETM, just look them up. It's not the cheapest, but it's amazing, mate.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Here, I have to keep my eye out for that. I don't know what I'm going to do on ETM race weekend. I don't know if I'm stopping over or if I'm traveling. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry to have missed the last couple, and hopefully I'll be there this year. We'll see. I know I've not got a ticket yet, but we'll see. Hopefully, if I decide to do it, I'll be able to get a ticket, which unfortunately was not the case for a bunch of people who wanted to do High Rocks Birmingham.
Oh, I even was it 10 minutes? How fast did it sell out?
I guess officially it would be 10 to 15 minutes. Unofficially, it's a couple of days because it was open up to gym affiliates first, and a few gym affiliates, or not the gym affiliates themselves, but a few members of a gym were being helpful and shared the link on various groups. And as well-meaning as they were, it unfortunately led to a situation where a lot of tickets were bought before most people got a chance to. And it became almost like a random lottery because fair play to Emma, to Paul and Afi of the Harrods UK group, they were playing whack-a-mole with those links as much as they could. And yeah, you had a situation where 75% of tickets were sold before they got on sale. So it it's difficult. You can criticize High Rocks for various things. On the other hand, I can't think of a solution. I'm struggling to think other than go for a lottery.
Hey, we have the lottery for the London Marathon. If High Rocks is going to be that big, and it's getting that big, I had rumours of 15,000 people going through Manchester the other week, and when we were there.
I believe it was probably about 8,000 competitors, and then you're talking about spectators as well. So I'm not sure if it was 15,000. It might have been 15,000 individuals touched that venue, but some of them were spectators, some of them were vendors, some of them were lost and were in for directions. So yeah, but it's still a lot. But I do wonder, is it sustainable? Yeah, the London Marathon does a lottery and it is the biggest race. It's got that history, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if a lottery is the right answer. I don't know what is the right answer. It's a race at the end of the day. It's going to sell out. Irox is on a crest of a wave. It's going to sell out.
Yeah.
Would you expect that fast? No.
No, my answer, but I don't think Hyrox would like it. My answer is everyone knows there's going to be more than one race in the 24-25 season. Everyone can probably have an inkling that it may be in London XL. Just guessing, possibly around November. And they've probably already got contracts out. Why didn't they release both dates at the same time, split it? You'd still sell out. You absolutely would still sell out, but you'd then have a situation where presumably 25,000 people got to enter one race, whereas at the moment you've got 8,000 people maybe who got in, maybe 9,000. I don't know the exact figures.
Yeah.
And you've then got a bunch of people who are disappointed.
Do you think they've got to look for bigger venues now and potentially put more exercise stations in? Not as in like a ninth, I mean as in more rowers, more ski eggs, more lanes for things, and go for a big venue?
Honestly, I think we're at the capacity of what they can do in terms of, because we've got a massive venue. They've got the NEC and they have the London XL, and you can't get any bigger. You honestly,
at the NEC, can't they go and have several halls as opposed to? I mean, I don't know how many they've got, but maybe they've got two. I don't know, but I'm pretty certain that where the old National Running Show, there's another hall at the side that could open up, so they get two halls. So they actually have maybe one lap, just one lap. You're in one lap and 1 kilometre lap.
The rumor is they looked at doing one lap this time for Birmingham.
Yeah.
But the logistics and the costs, it just wouldn't work. Whether they revisit that, I'm not sure. But you're then making it quite a difficult because the rush zone will then be huge.
True. It would be huge. But in the same sentence, it would only be as big as what's the word I'm trying to get? In theory, it could only be as big as it could be as big as Manchester, but with more lanes. I'm sure there would be logistically you'd be able to maybe have two rowing sections at the side, more rowing stations, more ski eggs, more sled pushes, low sled pulls, and you might even have a point where the in the out's going to be the same place, but there might be a slightly bigger rock zone, not too big because they're all going to be in one line again still.
Yeah, but if you consider it, if you come in and out of the same place, from one side to the corner of a 1K running zone, that's 125 meters.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll obviously they adjust it so the bit you're running in the rock zone kind of counts towards your lap anyway, so they will adjust it.
Yeah.
But if the station is then huge, they don't count for that. So if you've got a massive, massive station, so rather than I can't remember, the 40 lanes we ran down when we were doing our sled push, Alan.
Yeah.
If you have 70, you've just added 30 meters of running.
Or you put two at the side of each other.
Potentially, yeah.
Then you've only got an extra 12.5 meters per station. So you'd have 3 stations, 12, an extra 37 meters, maybe a little bit more.
I'm not sure if it, again, I don't have a map out, so I'm not sure if they could do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have a look if they can. But I just imagine it's going to be a very, very slow course.
Yeah. But
But yeah,
what
we
do they
don't
want?
know what solution. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't know what solution is.
No.
Maybe solution is they hold more events. Maybe they do what Tough Mudder used to do with their most popular events. They hold events on consecutive weekends.
You know, that would probably even work as well. And I think you would get still potentially people doing it one weekend and then going back for the following weekend as well.
But you would definitely get people who just do it once.
Yes. Yes, you would.
So maybe that's the idea. Maybe if you have it on consecutive weekends, that could definitely work.
I completely agree. Maybe go down the Total Warrior route and have schools come and do it free of charge on Thursdays and Fridays and Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah, that could work too. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but have a kind of kiddie version, yeah,
yeah,
of local universities.
local
They've
universities.
got like in Birmingham, I'm sure they've got 2 or 3 unis, so do it that way, and then in return get those university students to volunteer.
That sounds like a plan, Ian. That sounds like a plan.
So moving on from that, should we chat about what's happening? Well, as you're listening to this, listener, it's either happened or it's happening in 12 hours if you listen to this bang when it comes out.
Which is the High Rocks Elite 15 race.
It is in Vienna, Alan. So this weekend, it is the European Open Championships. And alongside that, we have the first of the major series. So if you want to watch along, go on High Rocks YouTube. The women's race starts at 5:50 p.m. our time, so UK time. If you're an American listener, work it out. We're 5 hours ahead of you. Sorry, we're 5 hours ahead of New York. You can work it out from there. And the men's race is at 7:15 p.m. It's kind of a shame that we've worked out that way. I guess it depends on what you want to watch, but I'm really interested. And again, cheap plug, we've got the fitness racing podcast preview episode that I did with Emma. That is now available. Go and have a listen to that. But listening to Emma talk about a couple of the new racers who are doing the Elite 15 for the first time, and their running time is the same as Meg Jacoby, I really want to watch that women's race.
So what time are you finishing work? So are you going to take Friday afternoon off? Are you going to go take a little bit of flexi and sneak off early?
No, what I'll probably do is disconnect myself from socials and catch it on repeat.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, Alan, would you mind doing the podium on? but yeah, both races look fun. They've got different stories. The story of the women's race, well, there's a couple of stories. One, you've got Megan Jacoby do a three-peat. You've got the fact that you've got these fast new racers who are taking part for the first time. And you've also got a load of women. I think there's 11 women, Alan, who, if they beat the other 10, they get a world championship spot.
Oh,
because
wow.
4 women have already qualified. And if those 4 women happen to be on the podium, there's only one spot. Now, if you get past one of the ladies who's already qualified, then of course it probably rolls down as well. So it's interesting, these races within a race. In the men's race, it's more of a wide open race. So that could be interesting too, Alan.
Cool. Is Hunter going?
Hunter's not going, which was surprising to me. He usually does for Europeans, but he decided not to. But we do have Ryan Kent and Rich Ryan.
Okay. And anyone else that we know?
Oh, well, yeah, quite a few. Our good friend Graham Halliday is taking part, as well as Sandy as well. Sandy's playing with house money. It's going to be fun for Sandy because he's a good racer, but we know occasionally he can get into his own head. This weekend, he's already qualified for the Worlds.
Right.
And he gets a payday no matter what he does. So he can experiment. He can go and just try new things out. And that's one of the beauty of this system where people are gradually qualifying for world champs. Also, Alan, our good friend James Kelly is taking part, and we're rooting for him to get a world champ spot because it would be nice for him to have 2 months to prepare for a world champs as opposed to 2 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh, amazing. Talking about racing this weekend, Ian, it's a sad time as well this weekend because it's the final farewell at Rawfit at the Lions Den. Did you know that?
I didn't. That is really, really sad. It's the end of an era.
It's very much the end of it. Rick Burgess and his team down there are going. There is some, I want to say good news. It's not really good news, but it's selling off a lot of kit. So it's selling off everything that it's got. And there is some bargains to be had. You know, one that I've seen today, you know, the spinning nuts where they sit on a pole and you monkey from one to the other. They're up for sale, £20 a pair or £50 for 6 of them. There is Weaver up for sale. Let's have a look how much the Weaver currently is. So as we are doing this, it's all auctioned. So the Weaver looks like it's currently at £82. So you can get a Weaver for £82. So if you want a Weaver in your back garden or whatever, it's there. Go on to Rawfit's website. They're all on there. And yeah, you know, it's a sad time. It is a sad time for Rawfit, but there's some deals to be had. You know, 8-foot wall. I think it's currently £50. You know, if you want a wall in your back garden, absolute bargain. Stairway to Heaven, which is quite big, hasn't got a bid on it yet. You know, a huge Stairway to Heaven, not got a bid on it yet. And then there's other little things, you know, handholds, bungee ropes, everything that's going. So yeah, check it out, guys and girls, and see what it is. So
I will say, Alan, I was wondering where you were taking the show when you were talking about spinning nuts and sitting on poles, but we'll just glance past that. And what else have we got on the notes?
Parkrun, Ian, Parkrun are taking away the stats. We're never going to see who's the best runner at Parkrun anymore. I'm gutted.
Are you really gutted?
No. Actually, I am not good at all. They've made this decision to take away the stats. So there is one stat I do like, and that is which is the toughest parkrun. So, and it looks like they're going to keep that one. This is going to be more about individual stats, so the people with the fastest times and things like that. I know you've got the article. Do you want to read the article?
Yeah, I'll just read it out to you. There is a bit of background to this. I'll read this out first. And then there's background and rumors and innuendo, which, of course, we don't deal in rumors and innuendo on this show at all.
Not at all.
Anyway, we know that our websites are an important source of information for all part runners, especially those who are new and yet to take part. Our insight tells us that some of the content we share and how we present it can be off-putting or create opportunities for misunderstanding. E.g., parkrun is not a race, but we list things like most first finishes. So in the coming days, we will no longer publish data such as attendance records, post records, fastest finishers, most first finishes, age grade or category records. The results page for every event, your personalized results email and your individual profile pages will remain unchanged.
Yeah. So basically, you can still go into your race. If you go and run Barnsley Parkrun, you can still go into the race for that weekend and see who's won and second and third and fourth and so on. But they're not keeping some of the central data, is what I'm thinking. So they're not going to keep the ones where it says, at this event this week, this one had the most attendance and this person's got the most wins and things like that, which is, it is a little bit sad. You know, people love stats.
They do. And the rumor about this, Alan, is recently there's been a little bit of an uproar. We're all aware of the current discussion, and we're not going to come down either side of this, but the current discussion about trans athletes in women's sport. It's not for us to decide. We don't run a sports organization. You run a race, but we don't run a sports organization. So our opinions matter not. But there's been online chatter about trans women.
Yeah.
And trans women are women taking women's records. And you can imagine how the internet reacted completely calmly and we all sung Kumbaya.
Yeah, I can imagine that's exactly what happened, and the world is full of rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, unfortunately, because on the internet no one can ever see the other person's opinion, it got ugly, incredibly ugly. So, Part Run is for everyone. It absolutely is for everyone. So, this is a way for them to make it more inclusive because gender records can be divisive.
Yeah.
And you don't technically need those records because guess what? Part Run's not a race.
Not a race, Ian. Not a race. Never been a race. But that's why they don't time it, do they?
It's a time trial.
Oh, so it's a race. No, it's not a race. It is a race. No,
It's not a
yes.
race. It's a time trial.
Okay.
People have treated it as a race, and I know lots of people do to help them, but ultimately, Part Run is you versus you, improving yourself. It's a time trial. You're just happening to do it with a lot of other people. So I'm actually in favor of it. I'm in favor of anything that removes something that can be divisive to people. And yeah, if you care that much about whether you are fifth place in your Part Run, work it out. Or here's an idea, Alan: pay for a race.
Pay for a race. I agree with you, Ian. It's divisive, and nothing should be divisive. It should be happy. It should all be rainbows and unicorns. And I wish the world was in many ways rainbows and unicorns.
I do, and it is a shame that Part Run seems to have taken this turn to getting hyper competitive and people care. But like you say, the only start of any value to me may be average finishing time of the course. I think that's been removed, which is a shame, because it just gives you some kind of idea of how difficult the course is before you take it. But they've got this amazing thing called a map on most of the courses, so you can go and check that out too.
Yeah, but it doesn't take into account them hills, Ian. I only like it because Barnsley's in the top 10.
That's true. That's true. It's nice to be in the top 10 of something. Well, other than Lonely Planets, worst places to live, I guess.
Oh, I love it. I love that. Let's talk about races. Quick Runners World editor update. We've put it on the notes. Not going to go into great big detail. But Kate's replied to Marathon Investigations seems a bit of a strange reply, I'm going to turn around and say, because now what she's saying is that she left the course for a toilet break and she may have rejoined the course at a different point, but she's not sure.
Yeah, I give her every credit in the world for coming up with an explanation. I give her every credit in the world for doing that. Do I believe her? Probably not. Does it matter? Probably not. Yeah, at the end of the day, the story's out there. Runner's World can do whatever Runner's World want to do. She did put in something which was quite interesting. Do you have the statement in front of you, by the way, Al? Do you have it?
Yes, Ian, I've got it in front of me.
There's a bit in it where she talks about the pressure that she's under.
So says I also feel it's important to admit that part of this was about my ego. Even in the amateur running world, there is pressure to maintain form and times, and my own desire to be seen to be doing well at a time when I was feeling weak and below par resulted in a momentary lapse of judgment, which I much regret.
That is probably a lot of the truth. And it also makes me sad that we are living in a world where people just can't have bad days. You can't have a bad run. And that upsets me. People should be allowed to have off days without someone chirping up and saying, oh, you had a bad run there, or oh, why you the editor of Runner's World? You only did a sub hour 50.
It would have been a better story if she had a bad run and she could have wrote about why she had a bad run.
But things are happening. You know, race brain's terrible.
Yeah.
So I would chalk it up to this. And yeah, ultimately, I wish she hadn't gone the other step of allegedly faking it. I wish she would have just DNF'd or whatever, and it would never have been a story.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's if she wasn't who she was, I don't think it'd be as big as it is. And Marathon Investigations actually state that. I think in one of their opening statements, they do turn around and say it's because of who she is that, it's being investigated. I think it's going to be close as we get to a bit of an apology, is that statement that she was under pressure of some kind.
And it makes me sad. And Alan, do we need to admit that our Hyrox time is altered, or do you reckon we'll get away with it for a bit longer? You don't reckon Marathon Investigation's going to come for us, do you?
No, I don't think that corner that I cut instead of going like all the way round, that 1 meter I cut off. I think we might be all right there.
Do you reckon we'll be okay?
Yeah, I think we're fine on that. I know we're fine on that. Go on.
I was going to say, have we got anything else to talk about?
I've got some good news.
Good news! Yay!
Innovate! I've got a new logo.
Woo!
It's a little bit jazzy. It's a little bit of a jazzy logo here. Don't know what it's going to look like on the trainers yet, but they've got a little logo. I saw it on the website today because I was looking at them new mud talons that they've got, just to see if I'm going to actually indulge in a pair. Not sure yet. But what I did see, and this is the good news here, and this is for our women listeners, they have currently got X-Talon 210s for women at half price. So this is an OCR shoe, lightweight, great grip, should be £140. It's reduced to 70, and the good news is they've got all sizes except 7.5 and 8s. So from 3s up to 8.5s, except 7.5 and 8s. So great price, great shoe, and it's bright yellow, which is a nice colour.
That is a nice colour, particularly for OCR, because it helps when you're in a mud pit to make sure you've still got it on.
Still got both shoes on here.
And Alan, is there any other notes? Because I've got some good news too.
We have got one more, but I'm hoping that this might be the same good news that you might have for me.
I doubt it. I've not put it on, so I'll let you go with that good news.
So Ramonas Wickus is now top of both Body Hub Beast and Nuclear Wild Forest time trial as we record this, Ian.
So what you're saying is we need that unknown Norwegian, John Alban, to come and see if he can best Ramonas' time. I don't think he will, but he might come close.
He might come close. If we offer him $80,000, he might come over and give us a test.
We don't have to pay it, though. We just have to offer it.
We just have to offer it. We don't have to pay it, no. We'll do a Mr. Mouse and just offer the money and never pay it. Or a Spartan.
There you go. We are offering $80,000 to anyone who can beat Ramonas' time, but Ramonas then has to beat your time back.
Yeah, but we won't give him the money, will we? No.
No, it's an offer. It's not a...
It's an offer.
Yeah.
It's not just an offer.
Yeah, it's not a contract. Yeah. Okay. My good news, Alan.
Go on.
We are about 5, maybe 6 weeks away. I finally booked my hotel for the UKOCR Awards.
Woo! Where are you going?
I'm going to the actual venue because I'm lazy.
So you're stopping at the venue. I like that. That's a good move.
I figured it might help for at least one of us to have access to the venue.
But you haven't booked Reigate Manor, have you? Because we're not at Reigate Manor at this time.
The one near Nuts, yeah?
Yeah, we're not at that one.
No, I booked the right place, I think. I'm fairly sure I booked the right place. The only thing I still need to do is book my actual tickets for the event. Are there still any tickets left?
There are actually, yeah. So there are still tickets left if people want to go. I'm going to reach out to a few other people, Ian, that I know that got nominated, that currently haven't got tickets. We need everyone who got nominated, really. You need to get a ticket because there's some shock winners. The trophies have all been ordered. We'd like to see you up on stage. Reach out to me.
Collect your trophy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and be fast because I presume that tickets are selling out quite quickly.
Yeah, we haven't got that many tickets left. We've saved a few back. But yeah, we are keeping it to like the 100 people again. We're not going to go out to like 200, 300 people. It is going to remain quite small, quite niche. It will always be like that. We don't want to go too crowded. We want everyone to have a nice warm meal and have some fun and enjoy themselves. You get to sit next to some nice people. Not me and you, Ian, but there's a lot of nice people going.
Yeah, are we in the broom closet again?
We are in the broom closet, and the broom closet is in a different hotel to where the awards are as well.
Are we going Reigate Manor?
We're going Reigate Manor.
Having some dry chicken. Anyway, okay. I think we're done, Alan. So I'm going to say it's goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me, folks. And if you do want to go to the UKOCR Awards, go onto our website, ukocr.com, click on the button that says Awards 2023, shows you how to book, shows you how to pay, shows you the hotel and other hotels if you want to stop at another one. I'm stopping at another one, and so's a few other people. You decide where you want to stop. Stop with Ian and keep him awake all night, unless he's snoring and keeps you awake. Stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Bye.